I know Cummins is coming back around because I communicate with them regularly, but I also drive by their plant. I drove by there 2 Sundays ago in the evening heading out to visit my folks out in Panama. And the Sunday night shift was driving in to the plant. That's a sure sign that things are improving for Cummins, and I confirmed that with their staff. So it's been proven that Chautauqua County, as is true with most of upstate New York, has what they call a brain drain, where we train and educate our young very well.
And they leave.
And then they leave. But while that's true by the same percentage across the United States, the part that we haven't been able to solve is the brain gain part, and that's where we encourage 20, 30, and 40-somethings to circle back around at the same level as other places. That's the piece we're working on, and that's what jobs will do for us.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
My pleasure. It's a great question.
Send me a stamped envelope. I have some nice gifts for you. It turns out that we also have a circling around to a great degree, which should be noted, of senior citizens, people who are retiring.
Right.
They come to Chautauqua County for the most beautiful place on earth.
Which also goes back to that.
Safest, too, I might add.
Okay, it's a wonderful place to live, and it goes back to that calculation that makes it difficult for us in comparison on our property tax. If you take a look at it in the other sense, a lot of seniors come back here because it's a very inexpensive place to live. And if you're on a fixed income, you have to watch every penny. And if you can choose to live in beautiful Chautauqua County, where you can buy a home for however much you want to spend, but if the average is $77,000 versus someplace on the East Coast or out west where that number could be twice that much,
At least.
it makes us a great opportunity. And I think we've all experienced that with family members who leave here, go to Florida, and realize, wait a minute, I don't like that so much. It's really expensive, and it's a nice place to visit.
It's
and
mighty hot.
And it's mighty hot.
Right.
And they circle back up here. So we have significant assets, and we're working on
Yeah,
marketing
well,
them more and
you
more
mentioned
every
the
day.
seniors watching every penny. You know, it's getting worse and worse. We have not been getting our cost
3% interest or increase.
No, we've been not getting our cost of living.
Right.
They have these phony federal figures they throw out, and then they say, well, it's only 3% inflation, so they give us 3%. Well, hell, it's 20% or 10%. And according to everybody who keeps the accounts, between 2002 and 2008, seniors lost 50%, everybody did, of their purchasing power because of inflation. In the meantime, these phony figures do include such things as a new house and a bladder surgery or something, which you may or may not have, but they don't include the real cost, which is gasoline, which has dropped, and then they use the old figures. You know, they got all these phony figures they use. In the meantime, this year they've announced there's going to be no cost of living increase for seniors because there's been no inflation. Oh, excepting in one place, your medical costs. We're going to have to take some money out of what's left of your senior income and take, you know, at this next year they predicted there's going to be no inflation, so automatically we're not going to give you any more next year either. No cost of living at all for 2 years. In the meantime, there's no inflation. That's a big fat lie.
Well, that's a tremendous frustration for me, because I have family members who are seniors. I work with seniors every day, and you're right. That's one of the most
Well, you know that
it's
they
a true
can't.
injustice.
What are they going to do? Go back to, at the age of 88, with chronic arthritis, go back to stacking shelves in some supermarket? There's no way they can recover this. You know, Greg, they're going to all end up in their children's basement eating cat food.
Well, that certainly is something we need to avoid, and that's one of the things.
That's what's happening. You see all the houses, you're talking about losing houses. You know, there used to be half a column in the newspaper, 2 pages now. And many of them are seniors losing their houses. They can't afford it.
Yep, and the challenge we have is that it's the fundamental problem is a spending problem, and it's not on behalf of the seniors. It's on behalf of and I'll start with the next level up. It's the state. The state budget has gone up 65% in the last 9 years. Now, if our incomes are going up 65%,
right,
then hallelujah.
Yeah, hallelujah.
But,
Well, it went up 17% this year, in the year there's no inflation.
So, I mean, I smile because it's ludicrous. And the tough decisions are the ones where you have to say no as a state leader, and we can't afford it. We've had to make those tough decisions at the county level, and believe me, I can distinctly recall having the Mayville campus surrounded by safety personnel complaining about reductions and that was solved, and when we got through that, and you can reduce spending and still deliver good service, but the state hasn't done that, and I'm concerned that $2 trillion worth of deficits at the federal level is eventually going to have to be paid.
$2 trillion
by
is-
people's children and grandchildren
Well,
and
I can tell
great-grandchildren.
you where there's 10 trillion missing too. That's in the Social Security fund, the trust fund. 10 trillion missing.
It's a
Trust them?
it's a real challenge.
Right.
But I appreciate the focus. We do need to find ways to properly support our seniors, because they're the ones that have given us the opportunity to live in the
And they are the
lifestyles
ones
we
who
have.
are actually most vulnerable now. They cannot recoup these big cuts in their income that are coming on due to inflation.
Well, on that point too, I want to congratulate my director of the Office for the Aging, Mary Ann Spanos.
Does the job.
She's amazing. She went out this week, and there'll be a press release on this, and found even more money to
she got
help
cut
provide
back, right, on the
provide
county level?
services. Well, what I did was I did with all my department heads. I met with her and said that we need to find ways to become more efficient, and we need to cut back on our spending. Her statistics are great, and it's because of her lifetime of service to seniors, her professional degree as a doctor of physical therapy, working with seniors and in the private sector, understanding how you budget. She was able to cut her budget by $188,000, but at the same time increase the services. Now, lots of folks are familiar with Lifeline. We increased Lifeline participation by 90%.
Briefly, for the people who don't.
Lifeline is for a person, and I'll choose the person who has the unfortunate circumstances of having diabetes. You know, you have trouble controlling your blood sugar, and that sometimes leads to situations where you're unable to care for yourself, and it can happen all of a sudden. If you have those challenges or others, you can have basically, you can wear around your neck like a necklace or on your wrist, a little electronic device that has a button on it, and you can press it, and that sends an automatic signal to emergency personnel that you need help.
That's a private company, isn't it?
And that circles through a private company, and that goes
how
out
is
to...
the county involved in that?
Well, we actually contract for the service and pay for that service.
Oh, so a
With-
person who can't pay for it,
in
who is
addition
in
to-
critical condition, gets it free.
In addition to helping support those who don't qualify for a free service but get a discounted service. And,
Good.
And so we increased that service by 90%, despite the fact we were spending $188,000 less money. And the other part that I'm particularly happy about is that we all know how valuable in-home care services, whether it be health care or cleaning assistance or just transportation assistance.
And you're not talking about hospice. See, that's
No,
a federal
not hospice.
program. That's a federal
This is
program,
this is a local program with state and federal dollars. We increased the amount of home services by 70%. So 70% more seniors are getting in-home services, but we're spending $188,000 less.
You jumped from 2 seniors to 4, or what?
No, I'll tell you.
These figures, you got to watch the figures.
No, we have a significant number of seniors that we provide benefits to, and that's one of the true pleasures we have in county government, is being that direct conduit for care.
What do we have, 39,000 or 29,000 seniors here?
And the number kind of goes up and
it
down.
depends on what a senior is, too. 65, 70,
Yeah.
50, 60, 55.
The good news is that they're active, and we try to keep them healthy.
We're out of here.
We are.
Yep.
It was a pleasure being with you today.
Car just took off.
Oh, my.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having
We've had a great program here today, and if you want to get in touch with Greg, what's his number, Greg?
753-4211, Carm or Joel or myself. There's 3 of us in my office. We'll be glad to take your call, provide you with whatever information or help. That
There
we
you
can.
go, friends, and thank you, Greg. You come back soon?
I will.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
terrific. It's always wonderful to have you aboard. Of course, if you're still the county exec.
I'll come back. I'd come back
Come
even
back
if I wasn't.
anyway, right?
I would. But
Okay, right.
I'd be delighted
I'm
to
sure you
continue
will
serving.
be. But at this point, there is an election on. Don't forget to get out and vote, guys. Put it on
November
your
3rd.
calendar. What's the date of it?
November 3rd.
November
Exercise your
3rd.
most precious right.
Yes, absolutely. Get out there. In the meantime, I want to thank everybody who's called in. I'm sorry, caller. We have another caller left in the lurch, but call in next time. He'll be with us again, or you have his number. You can call him directly. I want to thank real special, beautiful people out there who helped us out. Chuck Kelsey. We have with us Devin Taylor, Chris Burt, Chris Ramaker, Mort Flexer, Randy Burt, and Roy Harvey, and Karen Harvey, and Don Zenz. And not last but least, we've got a special guy here, Jeff Zuck. May all that is proud and true and noble abide with you. Have a wonderful week. Celebrate Columbus Day. May all that is proud and true and noble abide with you again. I'm Reed Powers.